Hey everybody, this is history you should see because Google's not showing it to you. Let me show you. Uh, Oakland blogger to cover Democratic National Convention. You know how I found this? I actually had to go to Bing. Look at this. I had to go to Bing right here. This is the Bing, not Google. This is Bing, and type Zennie Abraham 2008 Democratic National Convention first blogger. Right? See that? First blogger, Oakland Tribune in quotes, to get the real news. There's my bio from Oakland News Online, LinkedIn, my videos from my YouTube channel, and then this. Look at that. Oakland blogger to cover Democratic National Convention. So you click on that, and there it is. Okay, what was the Tribune then and now is called the East Bay Times. Oakland blogger to cover Democratic National Convention. And it reads, as the Democratic National Convention gets underway in August, Oakland blogger Zennie Abraham will be on the convention floor with a microphone poised to pick up discussions of race, predatory lending, infrastructure improvement, and other issues of concern to Oakland. Abraham and his Zennie Zeitgeist blog at Zennie2005.blogspot.com have won a coveted credential from the Democratic National Committee to cover the convention as a blogger journalist. He was selected late last week as one of 124 bloggers to receive credentials from an applicant pool of more than 400. Zennie Zeitgeist is usually about Abraham's take on political issues of the day, often the Democratic presidential contest, with a smattering of posts about pop culture and sports. Boy, has that changed. The Democratic National Committee said its criteria in choosing which bloggers to let into what no doubt will be a crowded and history-making Democratic Denver convention are that they cover state and local politics and have a high daily audience based on statistics from techno-racism, a website that tracks blogs. Among applicants whose sites met those criteria, the committee looked for blogs that, quote, stand out as effective online organizing tool and or agent of change. And then it goes on to read, Abraham has not been shy to take on controversial issues. He has written about predatory lending, accusing check cashing centers of exploiting the poor and crime and criminals. He already has specific plans for what topics he'll focus on at the convention. Quote, I'm concerned about Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama and the race issue. I really want to see if Democrats are going to rally around Obama unanimously, Abraham said Monday. I want to know specifically if people who are Clinton supporters, if they are really going to rally behind Obama. If not, I want to know if it's because of race. And he will report on any discussions of race, whether polite or not. He also plans to report in detail on the development of a Democratic platform with respect to what degree the platform represents domestic issues like predatory lending and credit card rates, are enormous infrastructure problems, and what I call keeping jobs at home. Abraham has been an outspoken supporter of Obama and raised about $17,000 to his campaign. That partisanship did not seem to faze the DNC, although many of the other blogs selected are less committed to one candidate. Many of the blogs represent Democrats from particular states, such as the Blue Jersey, Blue Indiana, and Blue Hampshire blogs. Abraham, 45, is an entrepreneurial businessman, having founded Sports Business Simulations of Oakland 5 years ago, but he has put his time in politics. He worked for former Oakland Mayor Jerry Brown as an economics advisor, and then as the Oakland Alameda County Sports Commissioner. That should say executive director, but whatever. Abraham started his blogging career in 2006, writing about sports, but then he couldn't resist talking about politics. Over time, he separated his own political and cultural ramblings in the Zennie Zeitgeist, distinct from his larger SBS Voices sports blog, and wrote increasingly about politics following the Democratic campaign as it progressed tooth and nail. The day after the New Hampshire primary, his blog posting received 44,000 hits. Since then, his audience has steadily grown. He is invited by CNN to post a video blog as a sample for its YouTube CNN Democratic debates last year. Afterward, links to his blog started showing up elsewhere on other political sites. Now Zennie Zeitgeist receives about 60,000 unique visitors a month on average. That was by Barbara Grady. Some corrections, actually. I started Oakland's first blog, Oakland Focus, in 2004. Zennie Zeitgeist came actually alongside it. And on top of that, my blog posted received 44,000 unique visitors, not hits. Hits are much more than that, but it was 44,000 unique visitors. And so I started much earlier than that. She also reported here that I worked for former Oakland Mayor Jerry Brown as economic advisor. I was actually economic advisor under Elihu Harris before Jerry, but under Jerry Brown, I was the head of the Super Bowl 39 committee, and I started the Oakland Alameda County Sports Commission. But I do all of this because on Google, I should be able to type the same thing and get that result. Instead, on Google, I didn't get that result, Danny Sullivan. This is what, and I say it just like that, this is what I got. By contrast, when I took that search term and put it in Google, and it was absolutely horrifying to see the result that I'm about to show you. And so as I put it in here, all right, take a look. As I put it in here for Google search, right, and I hit return, this is Google. Look at what it gives me. Some gobbledygook from C-SPAN, what people asked, Congresswoman Barbara Lee, all right, and it says on the Democratic National, it says produced by Zennie Abraham, all right, local government, something about Barbara Jordan, CNN, nothing about Abraham Lincoln. Zennie gets Media Innovator Award, and then from Oakland News Now, and then Jovanka Beckles. And then is it on page 2? Well, let's check page 2 and see if it's on page 2. No, it's not on page 2. There's nothing Peter Liu, but there's nothing me. And see that? All right. They say, in order to show you the most relevant results, we have omitted some entries very similar to the 16 already displayed. And so you click on that. It basically, folks, it doesn't get any better. All right. But there's no mention of anything specific to me. All right. Look at that. That's shameful. Danny Sullivan of Google, what's going on, man? What are you guys doing? Subscribe to Zennie62 on YouTube and bookmark oaklandnewsnow.com. Oh, and by the way, I call this techno-racism, and this is why. It's a technical way of making sure you don't see something that a black person did because you don't think that black person should be, for example, one of the first bloggers at the Democratic National Convention. Because I got that reactions from some people, most notably the person who started Daily Cost, who was livid that I was selected and in some sort of ridiculous and very immature retaliatory fashion didn't invite me to his big tent, which was outside the DNC, okay? I mean, he raised a big stink about it. I thought it was, rather than saying congratulations, all right? I knew what that was about. I saw who he invited. I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. So, and then they'll say, oh, I'm not racist. But it's easy to say that because you're not, you might think it's not being racist because you're not using the N-word or something, you're not doing something violent. But look, the bottom line is you're trying to exclude someone who's black. There are a number of, and Barbara didn't point this out, but there are a number of African-American bloggers that were in that list of the 124 that went to the Democratic National Convention. I was really happy about that. But did you see them in Marcos' big tent? No, you didn't. See you later.